Today on The Joy of Editing, I'll be working on a Midjourney image inside of Photoshop Beta using Generative Fill. I'm going to give you some tips along the way that will really help you not only with Midjourney images, but with any kind of generative fill you use on any of your photographs. So stay tuned. Hello everyone, and welcome to The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Today I'm working with this Midjourney image. I'm going to show you how I can expand this image, add elements to this image, all right here in Photoshop, and it does a fantastic job, and I think you're going to really love the results you'll get using Photoshop. But I will have some tips for you which will really help you get the best out of your Midjourney images. And then in future videos, I'll show you how to create Midjourney type images right inside of Photoshop if you're interested. If you're interested, let me know in the comment section below. Before I start, let's talk about the size of this Midjourney image. If we come up here to image and come down to image size, we can see that this image is 1664 pixels wide by 2432 pixels high. So it's a very small image to begin with. So I just want to point that out up front. When you're working with Midjourney images, or if you're working with any AI generative images, they're usually pretty small, so you will need something at the end of your edit to upsize those images. For me personally, I use either Topaz Gigapixel AI or Topaz Photo AI for upsizing images. To me, it does the best job. All right then, this was an image I got back from Midjourney of the sea turtle. Now, I would like to expand upon this. Photoshop Beta with Generative Fill is what I used, and I ended up with this image right here. So I was pretty impressed with the results I got. Now, this is very important. I'm going to give you tips, as I said, which will really help you to get the best results. So just pay close attention. It's really not that hard to do, and I'll walk you through this process. Now, here is your first tip, and this is super important. See this lock right here on the background layer? You need to unlock that background layer or you will not get great results. To unlock this layer, it's very simple. Just left click with your mouse on the lock and that unlocks the layer. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to go ahead and click on this lock and turn the lock back on. And now I'm just going to make the image smaller inside of the interface here. It's not changing the pixel count. And now I'm going to grab my crop tool. So you could type C or click this button on the toolbar to get the crop tool. And right now I'm going to click on this drop down. You can see we have different choices in here. I'm using width times height times resolution, and you'll notice I have nothing typed in here, so I'm basically able to do a freeform crop. So what I want to do is extend the left side of the image to over to right around here, and the right side I'll extend it over to right about here, and now I'll extend the bottom of the image to something like this. So now you can see I want to fill all this other area in with Generative Fill. To accept this crop, I'll click on the check. Okay, and you can see all the white area around here. Now let me show you where the problem comes in. Now I'm going to grab my Marquee Tool. So I want the rectangular Marquee Tool, so I'm going to click that. And you know, normally you could go like this and fill this all in like that, and click on Generative Fill and click Generate. And it fills in, and then you have the different variations that you could try like this. Okay, so we have that. But if I zoom in, look at this area right here from the Midjourney image, and then look at the resolution over here. This is not good. And this is what I'm trying to help you to avoid. Here's the fix. Make sure you still have your Marquee Tool. And come up to Style. You see right here, right now it's on Normal. Click this. This is a drop down. And I want you to click on Fixed Size. And when you do, you have width and height. So what I want you to do is type in here 1024, and over here I want you to type in 1024. I already have mine set there. And then when you click, you can see you have a 1024 box. Now, if you left click and drag inside the Marquee Tool, you can drag this around anywhere that you want. Now, what I like to do is come up, I'll lock it in at the top, and drag it over to the right till it just overlaps it a little bit. That's very important because that'll help the AI to know how to fill in this space. And then click on Generative Fill and click on Generate. And now notice something, nothing happened here. Sometimes something will. Here's my different variations. Okay, so that's horrible, right? And that's all thanks to this locked layer, but let me show you how to remedy that. I went ahead and reset the image. Now I will shut off the lock, and just click on it. You shut the lock off. And now I'll grab the crop tool again. I'll just type C to get the crop tool, and I'll extend the left side of the canvas over to about here, or the image, the right side, to about here, and the bottom to somewhere right around here. I think that is roughly how I set this up, something like that. Okay, and now we'll click the check to accept the crop. And now watch. Now again, when we grab our Marquee tool, and by the way, your shortcut is M, so I'll type M to get the Marquee tool. For style, I chose fixed size, 1024 pixels wide by 1024 pixels high. So I'm just going to click right here. And there's that box, right? Now I'm just going to drag it into position. Notice when I come close to the edge, it snaps in because I have snap turned on. To turn snap on, click on view, click on snap, make sure it's checked on. Then click on snap 2 and you'll notice I have guides, layers, and document bounds all checked on. And now I'll click generative fill. And now we'll see if we still have that issue. So let me click on generative fill and click generate. Before I shut the lock off, we had a white background. Now we have a transparent background. That's very important, and that happens because we shut off the lock. When you shut off that lock on the background layer, you'll definitely get a transparent background, and that's what you really need. Unlock the background lock, and then use the crop tool to extend the canvas however you would like. And then simply come to the Marquee tool, but make sure you click on the drop down for style and make sure you click on fixed size and 1024 by 1024 pixels, because now when I zoom into this image, you notice I lose no resolution here. I got the full amount of resolution. So that's very important because that's the window that Photoshop, at least at this point, lets us work in for the maximum amount of resolution. Now I'm pretty sure the Marquee tool style fixed size is a sticky setting. So in other words, whenever you leave Photoshop and you come back into Photoshop and you click on fixed size, it should remember the 1024 by 1024 dimensions, okay? And if you don't want to use that size dimension, you can go back to normal. Now, I don't have a problem if I have to fill a whole area in like this in normal. It's only when I'm using this little 1024 by 1024 marquee box. This is when I have the problem. So that's why I recommend that you shut off the background layer lock. And that 1024 by 1024 gets filled with maximum resolution from Photoshop Beta when using generative fill. And now I'll take you through my edit. I'm not going to waste a lot of your time doing generative fills for you. I'm just going to show you what I've done. Now, you know I've extended my canvas with a crop tool, and you know I shut off the background lock, and you can see I have a transparent background, except for where the Midjourney turtle image is. Let me show you the first layer. I'll click it on, and that's my 1024 by 1024 Marquee tool set to fixed size. Then I went ahead and clicked on generative fill, and then clicked generate. And I'll show you my next layer. The same thing, another 1024 by 1024. I kept doing that till I filled up the entire canvas. Let me do another one here. Okay, and here's the next layer. And then at this point in time, I just went ahead and grabbed my lasso tool. You can type L for the lasso tool. And I just lassoed an area like this. Clicked on generative fill and typed in shark right in there. Okay, and then click generate. And after I did that, I got this shark. And I tried some different iterations of the shark. As you can see here, here's one example, here's another example of a shark, and here's another example. So I chose the first shark right there. So pretty cool, right? And then I kept on going, filling in my canvas with those 1024 by 1024 marquee tools. And here's another layer, and here's another layer, here's another layer, and yet another layer. And then I have this one down here. Now here, I believe with the Marquee tool, I went back to normal because I knew this area would all be under 1024 pixels. So then I just clicked on generate fill and generate and filled that one in just like that. And I ended up with this. And so I have this side over here. So I kept on going. There's the top left underneath that. And now we got the bottom filled in. So now that's all filled in. I got this cool sea turtle and a shark. And now I started to play and have some fun. I want to shut this layer off one time just to reiterate, when you're using the Marquee Tool in the fixed size for style, 1024 by 1024, if you click, you'll see there's your square, and if you move your cursor to the center of this, you can just drag this anywhere you want. Now, if I want to fill this area in, I just drag this over. And again, make sure you always overlap a little bit so AI knows how to work with this area and how to fill it in. So that's very important. I'll do a deselect with Command or Control D to deselect. And I'll go ahead and turn this layer back on. Now let's keep going. Let me show you my selection. Here is my next selection. And I added a colorful fish just like that. And now my next selection, just realize I just do a loose lasso like this, and then I click on Generative Fill and give it a name like, again, colorful fish, and click on Generate, and that's what I did for all these layers. And there we go, there's another colorful fish. So now I'll just keep going up the line and showing you all the rest of the things I've done. Okay, so here's another generative fill, a crab. Here's another one. I believe I used sunken treasure for this one. And now we have another fish here. And now we have a scuba diver. Now for the scuba diver, I didn't like his mask. Is that what you call that on a scuba diver? I'm probably wrong. So let's click this one on here. And I ended up with this. So I just did a loose lasso around here. The prompt I used was scuba diver face. And now let's see what's next. Oh, a gold goblet. Again, a loose lasso. Generative fill, got that. And now what do I have here? Added some gold pieces to the ground. And next off we have a seahorse. And now we have another fish. Very simple to do. Another fish over here. And now let's see what we got. I didn't like these fish that were in here. You see these fish. So I just did a generative fill without adding any kind of a prompt and just got rid of those fish. Pretty cool stuff. And next up, I have these other fish I didn't like that Midjourney gave me. They didn't look real detailed, so I said, you guys got to go away. So I did a generative fill and got rid of them. So what did I do next? I think I added, yes, another shark up here. Again, a loose lasso up in here, generative fill, shark, and generate. Another fish, colorful fish. And now how about a shrimp? I put a shrimp down there. Every ocean scene needs at least one shrimp. Here's another fish right here around the coral reef. And again, we have another fish on this coral up here. I guess that's what that is. I've never scuba dived. And now we have another fish here. And I just kept having fun. This was a lot of fun. Very relaxing, to be honest with you. It's harder to make a video and show you this than to actually do it. And then what did I do next? Okay, another seahorse. And so I kept thinking, what do I need now? And now this fish down here. He's a cool looking fish, isn't he? How about some bubbles for our scuba diver? So here's bubbles. Okay, again, a loose lasso here. Typed in the prompt, tiny air bubbles. And I thought I needed some more bubbles. So let's see what our next layer is. Yeah, I added another lasso here and some more bubble variations here. And as you can see, here's the first variation. Not bad. Here's the second. And here's the third. And I think, what did I have? I think I used the second. Let me try the first again. Yeah, the first isn't bad, but I think I ended up using the second. And let's see what's next. Okay, I think I said gold goblet. And I got this, and I thought, it looks okay. Here's the first variation. I thought that didn't look good at all. Here's the third variation. Didn't like that, so I went with this, and I said, that's good enough. You know what? So now let me see what I did next. Okay, some gold coins right here. And now finally, this is some cleanup. I just added a blank pixel layer here. Let me turn it on. I just used the new remove tool, which is in Photoshop 2023 as well as beta. There were some lines in here I got rid of with that remove tool, as you can see, like right in here in that little light spot right there. Use the remove tool to get rid of that. And then I didn't like the fins of the scuba diver. So again, I used the remove tool on there. This was the remove tool. And this, I actually just deleted this area right here. And then I just used the loose lasso and I just, made that shape of a fin and filled it with black, just like that. And it was done. So here's the before and here's the after. Now the overall image looks like this. Started out with that just for Midjourney. And I end up with this with Photoshop Generative Fill right here. And I was pretty impressed. But as you'll notice, all the generative fills match the Midjourney image, which is pretty darn amazing. What do you think? Well, there it is, everyone. Don't forget my tip for you. Shut the background layer lock off. Just click on it. That shuts that lock off. And then do your cropping to resize the image to whatever size you want. Use your Marquee Tool and make sure you have the style set to fixed size, and make sure you put in 1024 pixels by 1024 pixels. And then when you click, you have that size. And remember, the cool thing about that is when you zoom into your image, you're not going to lose any of the resolution anywhere. You're going to get full resolution, which is very important. Now, at the end of the final image, what I would finally do would be to upsize this with, say, like Topaz Photo AI or Topaz Gigapixel AI if I wanted to make a nice big printout to hang up in my house. And again, thanks for joining me again today for another episode of The Joy of Editing. If you enjoyed my tutorial today, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe. Click that bell notification icon. Every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll get notified about it. Well, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today in The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly, and I will see you all right here next time. But until then, happy editing!